Hey guys, welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. In today's video, I want to go through all the ways to collect more summons in the game so that you can reach your pities and stuff like that. I just uploaded a summon video on my free-to-play account where I hit the 90 pity on the standard banner, and I had a lot of people asking me how I managed to get the summons. So I wanted to go through every way that I can think of to get summons in the game. Now we're speaking more about the standard pool summons because you're very limited on where you get the special pass summons, and most of those are going to come through your Stellar Jade. So this is going to be looking at where we get our passes, and if you have anything that I don't mention, please put it in the comments. Also, as I go through these, I will state that some of these ways you can get them, but I definitely do not recommend getting them from these sources, so you guys are aware that those are the ones I completely avoid. So let's jump into it. So the first place we're going to go ahead and get them is through our character Ascensions. Now this is fantastic. At Ascension 1, 3, and 5, we're gonna get a pass. Now I definitely recommend, I don't see any issue with it personally, and this is what I did. I leveled all my characters to level 20 and got them to the first Ascension, even the ones I'm not building, just so I could get that extra summon. If you have more characters than me, you can get more free summons. Now I don't really like the idea of early on in the game, I'm still Trailblaze level 44. I don't like the idea of taking other all these like characters that I'm not using up to level 40 Ascension. I just think it's too many resources for me at the moment, but hey, if you're desperate for summons, go nuts. But this is the first way we're going to look at it. Like I said, getting them to Ascension 1 level 20, it doesn't really cost that much, so definitely worth it to grab a few extra summons from that. Next up, we have the launch event. Now mine is gone now. As you can see, I got no real events in here, but we do have the launch event where at level 5, 15, 25, and 35, you're going to get 10 pulls at each level, and then also you're going to get 800 gems at, I think it was 25 and 35. So that event, if you're not up to level 35 yet, you've still got some more summons to grab, so just be patient. Once you hit there, that will give you a good chunk of income as well. As we move on from that, the next one is going to be the region shops. Now if you don't know where they are, this is the region shop here for Herta Space Station. If we jump over to Eurilo 6, it is going to be over here in Boulder Town, and that is going to be this shop here. And then if we go over to the final zone, the Lofu, it's this shop over here. Now, these shops are going to give you a good chunk of summons along the way as you progress through them. Now, I've cleared out the previous two shops, but this one I have not finished clearing out yet. So to clear out these shops, it's these progression rewards. You've just got to get the points and then spend the points, and you will get all those extra summons from there. Now, the best way to do it is to do all the side quests, collect all the chests, because those are going to be the main things, and then interact with things in the world. A lot of things in the world that you interact with will give you stuff. A great example for that is if I jump over to Herta Space Station, because it's the main one that I remember that I can show people straight away, is going to be this robot like right next to where the shop is, which is this one here. And if you speak to this robot, I've already spoken to it, it's going to give you 20 Hertium to go ahead and spend. There's other places, like I think in Herta Station, there's other ones like the computers over here. If you look into one of the computers and interact with it, it'll give you some more Hertium. But yeah, just interacting with things around the world, doing all your side quests, obviously main story quests as well, and collecting all the chests in the world for those regions are going to be how you eventually max them out. Next up, this one seems pretty obvious, but I've seen a lot of people who I say, have you collected your level up rewards? And this is really important for a bunch of stuff because it also gives you some early gear when you want to. As you can see, I haven't collected my level up rewards for a while here, but I think it's every 5 levels you're going to go ahead and get a summon as well from here. Plus you're getting a bunch of other useful resources. As you can see, once I hit level 45, I'm going to get an additional summon. So just leveling up, getting those login or the launch event rewards and getting your level up rewards are going to be very handy for collecting a bunch of extra summons as well. Next up, we have the simulated universe. Now there's 3 ways to get these. Only 2 of them are good. One of them I do not recommend at all. So if we jump into the simulated universe, when we will look at the worlds, when we look at first clear rewards, you can see here we do get summons from them. These are just great to clear as early as possible if you can and get those rewards, because like I said, they get really decent clear rewards for the first time on those first ones. That one didn't have a summon, but in general, just simulated universe first clear of worlds is going to give you some good resources and often summons. Moving on from that, we have the weeklies, which I haven't done yet, but as you complete these weeklies, you will get 1 summon ticket every week from this. So definitely collect these. Plus you get a bunch of other really good stuff in here as well. Now those are the 2 ways that are good from the simulated universe. If we go over here to Herta Store, I do not recommend, I repeat, I do not recommend ever picking up these Star Rail passes. They are not worth it in my opinion. You're better off getting working on these 3 light cones, and then this thing here is going to give you upgrades for those light cones. So it is a very, very long time before people will actually start buying Star Rail passes. Once you have all of these light cones all maxed out, maybe you look to it, unless you want to get a second copy of them. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if they're going to refresh this shop with other items and stuff like that. But in general, early game, I do not recommend picking up Star Rail passes from here. Don't. You've been warned. Next up is going to be the Nameless Honor, otherwise known as the Battle Pass. Now, as you progress through this, you will get some more of those summons. This is in the free version, so you don't need to pay for it. If you do the paid, you're going to get some special passes, but in general, that is where you're going to get another chunk of them from. In general, just keeping up with this thing and doing your dailies. The one daily I see people missing out on is often the dispatch assignments, because some people just don't check that. Make sure you're always checking back to do your dispatch missions. 1, you get some resources from them, but 2, it actually adds to the progression of this, so you can get more rewards there. And then as we move on from that, the final way to get them is going to be from this exchange. Now, there's one way you can and one way I don't recommend. So the first one is the Starlight Exchange. I do not recommend getting passes from here. I think in general, people are going to want to normally save for light cones when you're looking further into the future. I do not, once again, do not recommend getting passes from here, whether it be special or Star Rail passes personally. But you know, you do you. If you enjoy summoning, I mean, people do it, but I do not recommend it personally. And then we have the Embers Exchange. Now, the Embers Exchange is an interesting one because this is, it appears, and from talking to people from Genshin where it's got a similar thing and it's always at a discount, provided you summon on regular enough banners as a free-to-play player when you're saving your Jades, you should be able to buy out the special and standard passes. But if you start running low on the currencies because you're not summoning, because you're saving a really long time for a banner, then maybe you might want to avoid the standard passes and only pick up the special passes so you can keep looking at new characters. But in general, if you're summoning fairly regularly, I don't see an issue in picking up the standard passes as well as the special passes. So that covers it. If I missed anything, let me know, but that's pretty much every way I can think of to get standard passes in the game. Once again, you do not want to be, well, obviously the final one is going to be buying standard passes with your Stellar Jades. I do not recommend this. So Stellar Jades, I feel, are only really wanting to be used on the special passes. That's all I would recommend. But besides that, that's every other way I can think of to get the standard passes. If you guys have any more that I missed, please leave a comment. And if I see some, I will add it to a pinned comment. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.